video is going to be products that I'm trying to goal myself to use up in 2020. I know that it's taken me a long time to film this video, but I'm finally getting around to actually filming it. It's just been kind of a crazy month for me. I really didn't think this month was going to be all that eventful, and honestly, like, just one thing has been going on after the other, and it's just I've really had like limited time to film. And when I do have like time at home, I'm just literally just trying to relax. Like, I have to try to relax or I don't get any time to relax. So I'm going to go through the products that I'm going to try and either hit pan on or use up completely. There are a couple products that I am planning to use up completely this year. So I'm going to start off with those. For the most practical products for me to use up would be these 3 products that I'm going to talk about. Actually, 4 products. So we're just going to start off with powders. My ultimate goal is to finish the powders that I've been trying to use up for the past year already, and I'm going to continue to work on them. And I'm pretty sure that I told you guys what the powders are already. So the first one that I'm pretty sure I'm 100% going to use up is the Thrive Causemetics Soft Focus HD Setting Powder. So this is how much I have left in here. So there's really not a whole lot. I feel like I will be able to finish this within the next month, and I think it's going to be out of my collection by that point. I absolutely love this powder. I actually just bought a new powder from the drugstore, but I haven't bought a new loose setting powder since this powder. So I don't really go out and buy pressed powders and loose powders. I'm very good about like only having 3 or 4 powders in my collection and using all of those. Powder is not something I'm obsessed with repurchasing or buying like a million of them. So I think that goaling myself to use this up will be no problem for me. So I think I'm definitely going to use this up completely. So that is the first product, and I'm pretty sure I added this back in like June of trying to use this up. So I'm pretty sure I'm almost 100% positive that I'm going to use this up very, very soon. So I'm really not going to have any problems using this up. And then the other one, which I'm pretty sure you guys already know that I'm going to use this up completely as well, is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade One Fair. I'm still trying to use this guy up. Honestly, this product like lasts forever. Like, the outer edges are so hard to get used up, but I've been kind of making a dent recently, but this is just so densely pressed that it's like very hard to try and get it out of there. But you guys know I use this like almost every single day. I used it today. I use it almost every single day to set my makeup. So I'm definitely probably going to work this out of my collection very soon as well, probably within the next month. So definitely these 2 products I'm probably definitely going to use up 100%. So which will be a great accomplishment for me, and I'll be able to work 2 powders out of my collection. Since I just purchased a drugstore powder, that means I'm not going to repurchase any other loose setting powders. I love this loose setting powder though, so I might, because this is my absolute favorite setting powder ever. But the one I tried today I really like too, so we'll see if I just stick with that one. But once I use up this one, like I said, I am going to purchase the Flower Beauty one because Andrew Mattiliano said it's a dupe, like a straight up dupe for this one, and then I don't have to repurchase this one anymore. But this is still one of my favorites, and if I use it up, then I'll be my money's worth out of it. So those are the 2 I'm definitely 100% going to use up. These 2 I'm hoping I'll use up. I've had this one in my collection for quite a while. I think I'm going to use this one up as well. This is the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder, and as you guys can see, it has a pretty substantial dent in it as well. This is my go-to setting powder for like lighter makeup days. I use the Thrive Causemetics when I wear like makeup for work or when I go out. But for like everyday use, like if I wear a really light foundation and a really light concealer, this is always the setting powder that I use because I find it's very lightweight and easy to use under the eyes, and it just makes the under eyes look really nice and like awakened. So I think I'm going to be able to use up this one as well. I'll probably use this up with probably by like March, I'm thinking. I think that's a practical goal, so I think I'm definitely going to use this one up as well. So if I use up these 3 powders, I will be so happy with this because powders are probably the easiest things for me to goal myself to actually use up completely. I've been working on these for like a year already, so I think that I'm 100% going to use these 3 products up. Everything else, I'm just going to try and either use up or like hit pan on. So these 3 I'm definitely going to use up. I already know that. And then the 4th powder, I don't know if I'm going to use this one up completely. I definitely going to, it's probably going to end up looking like this one by the end of the year. But this is the Wet n Wild Soft Focus Setting Powder. And this one, this is how much progress I have on this one. This one I've been trying to use up for a while as well. Again, this one's my go-to powder for lighter makeup days. So I have expanded the pan quite a bit. I think I'm going to probably get it at least out to here by like 6 months at least. I think I'm probably going to most likely use this one up as well. But I think it's going to take me a while. But I don't think this will be a problem for me to use up either. I really don't want to get my hopes up, but for powders are definitely the most practical product that I would be able to use up completely. So this would be the last thing that I'm probably going to use up completely, that I'm goaling myself to use up completely. So those are the 4 products. 3 products 100%. The last product's probably like 80 or 90% sure. So that is it for powders. Now let's just goal myself to use up a couple of bronzers, or at least hit more pan on. The first one, of course, is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I swear, this is like the never-ending bronzer. Once I hit pan on it, it is so hard to get any more pan out of it. Like, I feel like this pan really hasn't grown all that much since I've actually hit pan on the powder. It's gotten really flat, though. Like, definitely the whole powder has gotten really flat because that's how much I use this guy. But I'm really hoping to expand the pan, hopefully around this area. I really want to use it up completely, but I don't think that's going to be practical. But I'm also not really looking to purchase any new bronzers this year because I did purchase a few bronzers last year. I got the Fenty Beauty one. I got the Milani one, I think, around the beginning of the year. I got the Guerlain one from Chip, and then I got the Wet n Wild one. So there's not really any other ones I'm really too interested in trying. And I got the Thrive one too. So I actually purchased 5 new bronzers last year. So I'm pretty much set. I do also want to hit pan on the Thrive one as well. But I didn't goal myself to use that, to hit pan on that one, because I feel like that one like lasts forever too. But I do use that one a crap ton too. So I'm going to try and hit pan on it. But I didn't include it in this video because I don't think it's going to be practical for me to hit pan on it like anytime soon. Maybe if I hit pan on it in 6 months, obviously I'll include it in my update video, but for now, I'm just going to include these 3 that I'm working on. But this one, I'm going to try and expand the pan a lot more, which I don't think is going to be a problem for me because I use this powder, this bronzer so much. And then the other one, I think I'm definitely going to hit pan on this one. I feel like I'm going to hit pan on it like any day now. I just feel like this product lasts so long. So this one is the ColourPop Pressed Powder Bronzer in the shade Here Kitty Kitty. And this is what it looks like right now. It is really, really flat in the pan. But it feels like there's like still a ton of product in here. Like I feel like this is so hard pressed that like it would be actually pretty difficult for me to hit pan on it. But it is really flat and I use this so much as well. I've been using this a ton this month just to try and get more progress on it. So I'm really hoping that I can hit pan on this one this year. So this is the one bronzer that I'm going to focus on to try and hit pan on by hopefully the end of this year. I'm hoping even after 6 months. I don't think it's going to be a problem for me to hit pan on this. But I think that out of all the powder products in this video, this is going to be the first product that I actually hit pan on in my collection. Everything else, I'm literally picking such practical products this time. Because powder products, I only picked like these face compact products and like 2 highlighters and that's it. Like I'm not goaling myself to use up a blush or anything because I can never hit pan on a blush. But bronzers are a little bit more practical for me. So I think I'm going to hit pan on this one. And then the last bronzer, and I've been trying to hit pan on this one, but I feel like with baked products, it's pretty hard to hit pan on them or like use them up. And I'm, of course, talking about the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dolce. This is what it looks like. As you guys know, I did flatten it out quite a bit. It's not raised anymore because I love this freaking bronzer. It's so beautiful on the skin for like light looks. It's such a beautiful bronzer. I love this bronzer. I love Milani Baked products. I love Milani in general. They make such beautiful products for the drugstore. I love their stuff. I'm going to try and hit pan on this. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't really know how baked products work when you hit pan on them because I've never hit pan on a baked product. I think this is probably baked, maybe, because you know it's raised and everything. I think it is a baked powder. But it doesn't say that it is, but I guess like that's how it would work, is that it would kind of be kind of raised. So I'm hoping to hit pan on this. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but at the same time, I don't know how long it's going to actually last before I actually hit pan on it. So we'll see. So that is it for powder products. And then the only other, actually, I just have two highlighters. The first one is the one I was trying to hit pan on last year, and I still haven't hit pan on it yet. But I do use this one a ton, and this is probably my most used highlighter in my collection, besides like the Jaclyn Hill highlighters recently. But obviously I just got those, so I'm probably not going to hit pan on those anytime soon. But I just want to talk about the Anastasia highlight in the shade Amrezy, or the Amrezy Anastasia highlight. So I love this highlighter. I'm not the biggest fan of Amrezy, but I do love this highlight. And I got this because everyone wouldn't stop talking about it, and I literally love it. So this is the only highlight I'm going to try and hit pan on still for the whole year. I think I'm going to be able to do it this year. This one is definitely, I think that this one definitely had more product than the Dose of Colors one and the Lancome one, and I was able to hit pan on both of those this past year, which was such an accomplishment for me for highlights. But I'm hoping I can hit pan on this one this year. So this is really the only one besides this highlight. And the only other highlight I'm going to try and hit corner pan on this one is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. I already hit corner pan in Blossom Glow, so I think that this one is pretty close. I definitely used Blossom Glow more with like pink highlights. I would always use it to like put it on top of another highlight. I don't really tend to reach for this one all too often unless I wear like more of a rose gold look. I mean, I still use it when I can, but I have so many other highlights in my collection. This is not like, my go-to is more like a gold highlight. That's why like I always go myself to hit pan on a gold highlight. But I'm going to try and hit corner pan on this. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Probably in like 6 months or so. So I'm hoping to hit corner pan on this one like I did with Blossom Glow. And then for eyeshadows, I'm only going to include ColourPop eyeshadows, and that is it. I don't think I'm going to hit pan on any palettes this year except for the one I'm going to talk about. So I'm just going to try and hit pan on the same single shadows that I talked about. The only one that I'm really going to try and hit pan on is Cloud 9, because I use this as my outer corner highlight, outer corner shade, I mean, and this one has a pretty big dip in it. The rest of them, obviously, I already have pan in the ones that I tried to go myself to hit pan on last year, so that was awesome that I was able to hit pan on these 4 shades last year. Firefly, I'm just going to try and finish to use up completely, which is not going to be a problem because I just stopped using a transition shade for a while, but I'm going to start using it again, and then I should be able to use it up no problem. But I'll be able to use this up in like a month, I'm sure. I just have to use it consistently. I just don't use a transition shade every day anymore. And then for these, I might try and hit pan on one of the shimmer shades if I use it as like an inner corner highlight. So the only other one I would feel like would be practical for me to hit pan on is Take It Slow. And this is a beautiful inner corner highlight as well. But that is it. Those are the only 2 single shadows I'm going to try and hit pan on. because I have pan in all the Makeup Geek ones I've tried to hit pan on, and I still haven't hit pan on them yet on the ones that I did try and goal myself to hit pan on last year. So I'm just going to goal myself to use up those two, and that's it, and just use up Firefly and hit pan on the two that I said, not use them up. But yeah, that's it for those. And then the only other palette that I'm going to include, or eyeshadows, is my ColourPop Dream Street palette. I am not going to go myself to hit pan on any other eyeshadows. It's just not practical enough for me. I'm going to try and still hit pan on Shooting Star, which is the one that has the biggest dip in it. So I'm going to continue to go myself to use or hit pan on that one. Again, these shadows and these ColourPop powder products are so hardly pressed, so that's why it took me forever to hit pan on those ones. Maybe I'll try and hit pan on these two as well. But this is the only palette I'm going to try and hit pan on. This one is Potion, I believe. And this one is called Elfish. So that's it. Because these are the 4 eyeshadows I use every time I use this palette. I'm not wearing it today. I'm actually wearing the Haus Laboratories palette today. And this is actually the first time I've used it in 2019. And it's a very similar look to the one that I did when I wore this shirt. When I did my first impressions, all except I'm actually wearing one of the purples all over my lid. It's pretty much the same look. But I haven't worn this palette in 2019, but 2020 yet, and I really like how this look turned out. But yeah, I'm going to try and use this as much as I can, and I'm going to try and use this as like a crease shade or like a smudging shade every chance that I get to try and hit pan on it. So that's it for eyeshadow. I am really not trying to goal myself to overreach this year with eyeshadow. Like, if I hit pan on it, then I hit pan on it. And then the only other products I'm going to talk about are foundations and concealers. And I'm basically going to talk about the same 4 foundations that I was trying to hit pan on, or trying to use up last year that I didn't use up yet. So the first one is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I did show you guys my progress in my products I wanted to use up in 2019 video. I actually just used this like a couple of days ago, so this is what it looks like right now. I don't think I'll have any trouble using this up this year. I probably only have a few more uses out of it anyway. I just want to use it up to get it out of my collection. I do love this foundation, but I feel like it doesn't smell or anything. See, that's the one thing I love about the Makeup Forever one, is it actually has a cap inside, so it doesn't make it smell, and I feel like it preserves it a lot longer than my other stick foundations, like the Bare Minerals one, which I'll talk about in a second. But this one I'm definitely going to try and use up still. And then, of course, I think that these two will be very easy for me to use up, because I've been working on these, trying to use them up, and I think I'm going to. And the other one is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick. And I've had this one less time than the Makeup Forever one, and this is all I have left on it. So this one I think I'm definitely going to use up as well. So I don't think I'm going to have any problem using up either of these stick foundations. This is my go-to foundation for lighter makeup days. I love it so much. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations as well. It's such beautiful coverage. I feel like it's replaced my Physicians Formula one, even though the Physicians Formula one is super cheap, and I love that one as well. But since I just got that out of my collection, I'm going to try and just finish this one, and then I'll decide if I want to repurchase either of them. But I actually do want to purchase a foundation right now. So, I don't really want to repurchase too many foundations except for my Lancome one when I can, because I really want my Lancome one back in my collection. It's like one of my favorite foundations, and I really can't have my collection without it. Even though I didn't use that one up completely, I just stopped using it because it was expired. But yeah, I'm going to probably have no problem using up either of these. And then, of course, I'm still going to be working on my Burberry Cashmere Long Lasting Flawless Soft Matte Foundation. I think I'm going to use this up any day now. There's not really too much left in it, but I've been just kind of savoring it because I love it, and I don't really want to use it up too fast because I can't find this at Marshall's anymore. It's such a beautiful foundation on the skin. I really wish I could find it again because I love it. So I'm going to try and use up that one still. And then the other one from Marshalls that I'm still going to try and work on to use up is the Lorac Natural Performance Foundation. This one is also one of my go-tos for lighter makeup days. But when I do lighter makeup days, I either just wear concealer or I'm going for my Physicians Formula foundation or the Bare Minerals one. Those are like my most used foundations for lighter makeup days. So I don't really reach for this one as often, but since I only have this much product left in it, I'm going to try and use this one up. So that's that one. And then the other one I'm still going to work on is the Kogendo Aqua Foundation. I think I'm going to use this one up as well. I just feel like all of these were ones I wasn't able to finish last year that I'm just going to goal myself to try and actually finish this year. I mean, duh, that's how it works. But it feels like it's getting pretty light, and this is one of my favorite foundations as well. I might not repurchase this foundation though, or I might wait to repurchase this foundation when the 20% off rolls around for Sephora, because I do love this foundation, and this might actually replace my Giorgio Armani foundation because I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful. I just love this foundation. And then the one foundation that I can't picture my collection without, like I feel like these two foundations this one replaced my Giorgio Armani because it really reminds me of the formula. And I love the Lancome foundation, but I love, love, love the finish of this so much, and you guys already know that. But this is the only foundation that's newer that I'm going to try and use up. And this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. You guys already know I absolutely raved about this foundation in my Best in Beauty. I really just can't believe how much I actually fell in love with this foundation. It's like literally my favorite foundation, I think, ever. I just love the finish of it. It makes my skin look so gorgeous. And it's just beautiful. It looks so beautiful on the skin. And this one's in the shade 110C. So I'm going to try and use this one up completely. This is my most used go-to foundation for anything. So I feel like I would be able to use up this foundation. So this is the only one that I wasn't working on last year that I'm going to try and goal myself to use up this year. But I feel like I'm going to use up all these foundations no problem because the year before last year, I used up like 4 foundations, and then last year, I think I only used up about 2. I think I used up my Maybelline Fit Me foundation like around the beginning of the year. I think that was last year, and then I think I used up, I don't think I used up anything else. I just decluttered a bunch of foundations that either weren't my color or were older, but I think I'm going to declutter a couple more foundations, so I think I'm just going to film a video on that. So anyway, now we're going to include, and the last one is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. This one I'm almost done with, so I'm probably going to wear this one to Connecticut on Friday because this is like my most long-lasting foundation besides the Lancome, and since the Lancome's not, I can't use the Lancome one anymore, I have to use up this one. So I'm going to try and use up this one still. And then I'm probably just going to bring this one with me to Connecticut too. And then the three concealers I feel like I'm definitely going to use up are these 3. So the first one is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. I feel like I've had this in my collection for forever. And you guys know this used to be my most used up concealer because this was like mostly the only, there's pretty much not too much product left in here. But there is product that comes off on the brush. But I feel like I would be able to use this one up no problem. I feel like there's not too much product left in here anyway. It looks pretty empty, but there is still product left in here. So gonna try and use that guy up still. And then the other one, which I'm actually wearing today, and I'm going to continue to try and work on this one. I feel like this one I'm going to be able to use up too because it looks pretty empty. Is the Maybelline Master Conceal by Face Studio Camouflaging Concealer. So, and this one's in the shade 10 Fair. The Naked Skin, I'm in the shade Fair Neutral. I'm going to try and use up this one as well. Again, I don't think I'm going to have any problem using this one up because I am not purchasing any new concealers lately. I'm just going to try and use up the ones that I already have in my collection. And these 3 definitely look like the ones that are the most empty. So I'm going to use up this one as well. And then the last one is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 2. It's starting to separate a little bit. Probably have to shake it up. But this one looks like it's pretty empty as well. It's getting a bit liquidy. But this one, you guys know it's like my go-to concealer. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to try and use up this one as well. I already used up one this past year in the shade Fair 8. So I don't think this is going to be any problem for me to use up either. So these three concealers, I probably won't have any problem using up any of these. And then the last one that I use so much, but I feel like there's so much product in here. But I feel like I'm going to use this one up because I've used up one of these before. And I've used up the Urban Decay Naked Skin and the ColourPop No Filter. So these are all concealers that I already use up and I love. And this is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Concealer Aqua Sealer in the shade Fair. This is still my go-to concealer for lighter makeup days. And I'm not really sure how much product is in here, but I feel like there's not really too much. Actually, yeah, there's not really too much left. Because I'm dipping it and not really too much is coming off on the wand. So this might be almost finished as well. So no problem using that up either. And then the other one is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. Did my mom text me at all? Okay, because we're going to watch a show soon. This one I feel like might be on its tail end as well. I'm probably going to use this when I go to Connecticut to see how much product is actually left in here. I feel like the last time I used this, that's why I stopped using it. There wasn't really too much product left and it might be dried out. So I don't know if this one might be used up either. This is also a really awesome full coverage concealer. And then the last two products in this video, and that is it, is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Chantecaille. This one I feel like is pretty dried out as well. I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble using this one up either. This one I use when I can. It's not like my go-to concealer, but there is still product left in there. But I've used up one of these before, I'm pretty sure. And my mom got this for me like in 2018, and I'm like December 2018, so I've had it in my collection for like a year, so I should be able to use this up. Let me just swatch the all-nighter, because I feel like I did. It is kind of dry. It's pretty dried out. I mean, it's covering. I don't know. I'm going to try and use it on Friday. And then the last one is the e.l.f. What is this called? I forgot the name of this concealer. This is just an e.l.f. concealer in the shade Fair. I'm going to try and use up this one as well. This one I do use for lighter makeup days as well. It is a lot darker. They call this a fair color, but let me show you guys the difference in color between the NARS, the Urban Decay All Nighter, and the e.l.f. This is the NARS, this is the Urban Decay, and this is the e.l.f. Do you see how much darker that is? But it's crazy that it actually works for my skin tone, because this actually absorbs into your skin, and it does not look that shade on my face. It actually looks really nice. When I blend it in, it actually blends in to be really neutral, and it actually works on my skin tone. So it's kind of weird, but it's so weird that it's that dark and it still works on my skin. I probably should just mix it with one of these, and it would probably be better. I probably shouldn't have just straight up mixed it in, but it's fine because it is kind of dark. But if I did that, it would kind of turn it more neutral, like right here. So that would still work better than like, I thought it was this kind I thought it was this kind of color. I didn't realize it was that dark. But yeah, that is it, you guys. Those are the only products I'm going to try to hit pan on or use up. I'm not trying to overwhelm myself with Project Pan this year. I always end up not meeting my goal every year. I used up 5 concealers and a powder last year, and that was it. So that's why I'm going to try and still use up the powders that I said, and that's all I'm going to worry about using up right now. I'm not going to stress about any of the other products. I'll use them up in due time. I'm not going to use them up at any specific time or anything like that. But yeah, that's it, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I never go myself to use up setting sprays, primers, or mascaras because I always know that those are products that I can use up easily. So yeah, that is it, you guys. Please let me know what you guys are going yourself to use up this year. I love you guys. Bye.